Wow. Hold on a second. I gotta find the prompter. Well, where is it?
I hope you're screwed. There you go.
We're 5 days away from the Super Bowl and going local. Today we're on the outskirts of Mountain Mountain, the highest peak in New Orleans, which is 27 feet above sea level. Not that long of a trip. Nevertheless, don't let the height fool you. The New Orleans will still be the place where players' legacies rise and fall. So without further ado, a special all-position Super Bowl edition of Mahomes Mountain. I got a little tongue-tied there.
Yeah, we don't say, because you were too busy being a smart aleck during the break, crushing our producers. Listen, America, Wilds wants to talk about Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James playing on the same team.
Wow, was that have a chance of happening? Was that
not this year, no.
Before a meeting?
No, it wasn't.
I'm doing Dallas Goedert, don't worry.
All right. So Mahomes Mountain, usually it's just quarterbacks. Now it's all the positions. 21 players in the Super Bowl. Jalen Watson, not only a great tweeter, great corner. Can we pull up one of his tweets? Just a random one, Dust. I don't know. Never a doubt. I get it great. And then a roller coaster after beating Josh Allen. Nobody noticed the roller coaster, little Easter egg. Shout out Jalen Watson. Here's the truth of the matter, though. This former 7th-round pick, who is part of that Chiefs draft classes that, you know, have never lost a playoff game, only won Super Bowls, 9-0 in the playoffs. He broke his ankle midway through the year, and the pass defense immediately went in the tank. Now, it's a little nervous. It's that reliant on one guy, but he is a critical player, and when you're playing the Eagles with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, he's incredibly important. Darius Slay, great corner. Nick Bolton and Justin Root, we'll get to Quinion Mitchell in a moment. They're wildly important in this game for this reason. Tackle Saquon Barkley. Don't try to force fumbles. Don't just you know what? Just be like, he's not going to fumble.
Yeah.
Just get him on the ground. Washington was trying to force fumbles the whole game. Couldn't get him on the ground. Quinion Mitchell, big spot, young man. Awesome player, small school kid. A pick that everybody loved when Howie Roseman made it, has really exceeded the expectations, might win Defensive Rookie of the Year at NFL Honors here in a couple days. Big game. And then Wilds guy Dallas Goedert. He is on the mountain because he's a good player, but also because the one spot the Chiefs have been vulnerable defensively all year is guarding opposing tight ends. So I would imagine he's a feature part of the gameplay. 5th row, Jalen Hurts. Listen, people are going to get mad at the Jalen Hurts placement. Once you see the 10 guys above him, every single one of the guys above him is either a lock future Hall of Famer, has plans on being a Hall of Famer, or is a perennial All-Pro. Jalen is a good player who had a really good season. I can't put him any higher. Zach Bond, maybe the acquisition of the offseason. Yeah. God, I'm sure Coach has his salary memorized. Nobody cares about money the way Coach does. But the guy cost almost nothing. He might win Defensive Player of the Year. Trent McDuffie, a player that the New England Patriots could have drafted, but they traded with us so they could take Cole Strange and get a guy they cut later. We thank you for that. He's a 2-time All-Pro, never lost a playoff game. George Karlaftis. Fun fact about George Karlaftis, 3rd year in the league, more sacks in the playoffs than Lawrence Taylor or Aaron Donald or J.J. Watt. Pretty good. And then Devontae Smith, maybe the most underappreciated receiver in the NFL. I think he'd be a number 1 on 20 teams. He's a number 2 on this team. He's a great player. Heisman Trophy winner. 4th row is the offensive lineman row because I really didn't know how to sort them amongst other players, so I put them all here. Jordan Mailata, one of the maybe the biggest success of the NFL's international player program, is a rugby kid from Australia, 7th-round pick who's an All-Pro now. Joe Tooney, he's a Hall of Famer.
Another Patriot.
Patriot, appreciate you, Bill Belichick, letting us sign him. He is going for his 5th Super Bowl championship right now, and he is the Chiefs' 4th left tackle of the year and the best left tackle. Lane Johnson, he's got a Hall of Fame-ish resume on the right side, and Creed Humphrey, another great player they drafted. They just made him the highest paid center in NFL history, I believe. 3rd row, the greatest tight end of all time. Guy who has the body of a tight end, but the skills and speed of a receiver in A.J. Brown, which makes him such a handful to deal with. And Jalen Carter, who could have been the number 1 pick of the draft, obviously had the issues coming out of Georgia and has really exceeded expectations at this point. And is arguably the 2nd best defensive tackle in the league but that also makes him the second best defensive tackle in this game because of that person on the second row, Chris Jones, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer, the defensive linchpin of this dynasty, and the player that the Chiefs prioritized 3 years ago. We're not going to be able to keep him and Tyreek Hill. Who should we prioritize? They prioritized him. They haven't lost a playoff game since. Saquon Barkley, who is trying to put the finishing touches on what might be the greatest single running season any running back's ever had, certainly on the short list. And then, of course, atop the mountain, Patrick Mahomes, who is, there is one, despite having 3 Super Bowl MVPs, there is only one thing missing from his resume, and that is a start to finish, all 4 quarters, amazing Super Bowl. He's been amazing in 3 second halves of the Super Bowls. He's never had a great first half of any of the Super Bowls. Has a chance to this weekend. That is Mahomes Mountain. Coach?
I think it's one of your better mountains.
Wow.
You've been saying that a lot lately.
Wow.
I know, you're getting, as we move on through the season, you get a little bit better each week.
Like all great teams, you know what I mean? You're just learning who you want to be.
It'd be nice if you would start a little earlier next year.
You know what?
We'll
practice it early.
But I am disappointed. I am disappointed that you left Xavier Worthy off the mounting.
Oh, that's a good one.
And here's why. He leads the Chiefs in receptions, so he's got 11 receptions in the postseason. He's catching the ball. He's at an 85% catch rate, which is
You love
ridiculous.
catch rate.
I do love catch rate.
Yeah.
If the ball's thrown, I want to see him get caught.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those count, these things?
that's, well, yeah.
I think he only has one of those.
But
Really? I feel like he gets more.
let's talk about last game, though. So he gets the 11-yard touchdown, and then he gets the contested, as little as he is, he goes up and gets a contested catch, which ends up leading to another touchdown. So you've got that component to it as well. Everybody doubted him. The Bills were willing to make a trade and allow Kansas City to take. Now, look, so it's Patrick Mahomes and now Xavier Worthy. Maybe they shouldn't answer the call when Kansas City called.
Hello. Thank you. Yeah.
The guy killed him. So there's that component too. And he had to start and play a significant amount because of all the other injuries. And he did a great job, and he's gotten better. And as the moment's gotten bigger, it looks like he's rising up to that moment.
Yeah.
So I think he should get credit for that. And then this past weekend, he had to go to Dick's Sporting Goods to sign autographs from 5 to 6:30 to make a little money. I mean, there's more commercials in Kansas City. Yes, he signed autographs at Dick's Sporting Goods from 5 to 6:30 last Saturday. Well, I'm just saying, there's more Kansas City commercials than there are reruns of The Office. Can the guy get on the mountain and maybe get a Kansas City commercial?
Okay, well,
I mean,
I'm not in charge of their marketing deals.
Well, kind of.
I do know that he was in a viral Doritos ad with Creed Humphrey. I don't know what that pays, but it was.
Well, now he's at
It was a digital ad. Listen, here's the thing that I think Xavier deserves immense credit for. When they drafted him, people were like, okay, he's a 9 route, just straight line speed guy. Because, listen, he is the fastest guy in the history of the league at the combine. They don't really use him like that anymore. He runs it's much like Rashee Rice, where by the end of the year, he was running the entire route tree and their featured receiver. He still has that speed he can threaten you with, but he's been deadly on those crossers, the little short stuff, which is how he scored the touchdown. And in both of these games, he has had a contested crazy catch, because in the Texans game, remember, down the sideline, he had to adjust for one on the near sideline call.
Yeah, and as the moment's gotten bigger, he's rised up to the moment.
All right, take him off.
Yeah,
take Goedert off.
Oh, my gosh.
Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm going to say something I have never said. One of your better mountains.
What?
I've never said that.
You could have said
one of your better
nicer.
mountains.
Perfect. Great.
This is a nitpick, but I'm going to move Zach Bond up because of the importance and improvement in Philly's defense. I got to switch somebody. I'm going to switch him with Lane Johnson. And I know Lane Johnson is great and has obviously have a much better career. Zach Bond wasn't even a full-time starter in New Orleans. And now, like you said, might be Defensive Player of the Year, led the team in tackles. He is a major reason why Vic Fangio's been able to take that defense from being arguably the worst in the league last year to arguably the best. He's got 5 forced fumbles, which is near the top of the league, was first-team All-Pro. So I got to move Zach Bond. I'm going to switch him and Lane Johnson. No disrespect to Lane. But I think this year, Bond was better.
So you make a great point. The problem is the fourth row is offensive line, bro. So I don't know what it's going to be hard. What's wrong, Wilds?
I'll let everybody in behind the curtain how this segment works, okay? We've got a Google Doc. Nick puts in the mountain, and then there's a line for Coach. Coach, I don't know if you see the Google Doc. The line for Coach because he goes first.
Yeah.
And a line for Brew because Brew goes second, and then a line for me because I go third. But I'm, as leader of the show, I'm in the Google Doc all the time. So I'm like, surely someone is going to talk about this guy. So I'll get a bunch of stuff on Dallas Goedert. Because I assumed that Coach and Brew hadn't entered their picks yet. We're going to mention Jalen Hurts, who's sitting there near the bottom of the mountain.
But they agree with it.
Well, who you
picked
putting him
Zach
above?
Bond who's next to him.
I'm putting him above lots of
about
people.
Jalen Hurts. What's the problem, Wild?
Here's the problem. Look at Jalen. I didn't even want to do this. Everybody knows Josh and I spent a lot of time on Dallas Goedert talk. Because I assumed someone was going to do this, but I'm the only one who thinks the quarterback's important to the Eagles. If he wins, which he might, he will have the third most regular season wins and the second most playoff wins and the second most playoff appearances only to Patrick Mahomes and the third most touchdowns, and that's not even saying he doesn't even have a touchdown. Last Super Bowl, the guy had 4 touchdowns. 4! He had 3 running and 1 throwing.
Well,
and
1
300
running,
yards.
1 throwing, and 2 pushing.
It doesn't matter. Nobody else can do it. Josh Allen's sitting at home because he can't do it.
Really
So
hit 5 because that fumble led to Kansas City.
Oh, wow, good one, Coach.
Hey, it is what it is. Filling up the stat sheet. Finally. Well, he's nowhere near Patrick Mahomes. That's all I got to hear about. Patrick Mahomes got a whole mountain.
This is such
It is what it is. There's
That's
lots
an
of
outrage.
conspiracies in this world that you can push against. This isn't one of them. Save your conspiracy bug spray for something that is nonsensical. This makes perfect sense. I don't even know what we're talking about. Mahomes got a few more wins. The points go to Jalen Hurts. Completion percentage is right there to the point. Sometimes we take it off the graphic, me and Josh. Mahomes gets 30 more yards. Touchdowns go to Jalen Hurts. Interceptions goes to Mahomes. Interceptions is a bad stat. Passer rating basically the same. They're the same guy.
They're the same
So
guy.
where
According
would
to
you
this.
put him?
Then,
Very high.
Hold on.
And I haven't even done my Dallas Goedert stuff.
Before you do your Dallas Goedert stuff.
I got tons of stuff on Dallas
I
Goedert.
know you're the leader of
You
the
like
show.
saying Dallas
Hold on. I need the
name.
shout of the whole table, please, because we have quorum.
Are we gonna vote on who we're gonna take?
No, we have your leader of the show. Your vote counts for 2.
Yes.
But
Hold on,
1,
but
2, 3.
because you gave me that,
But you
does that
can.
mean you're leader?
No, but you can be outvoted. If Kevin Wilde believes Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are the same guy, I believe he is obligated to pick the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Because
the only
I'm beloved in Kansas
you
City.
just said the quarterback. Does everyone agree that if the quarterbacks are equal, the Eagles should win? Everyone agree? You have no choice in it.
I do agree.
Your
I'm
pick's
a
been
Mahomes
made.
guy. Everybody knows it.
You're a
I am.
Jalen Hurts
Clearly
guy.
you're rocking with the Eagles.
Yes.
Clearly.
Because I think that Jalen Hurts doesn't belong on the bottom of the mountain.
He wasn't
at
on the
the
bottom.
He was above
He's
the
pretty
bottom.
Everybody above him was like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown is reading books on the sideline.
Because he's so frustrated with
How is he going to
Jalen.
be good? How can A.J. Brown have success without Jalen Hurts?
He had success
How
with
can
Ryan
Saquon?
Tannehill.
How can Saquon have success without?
He had success with Daniel Jones.
He doesn't take direct snaps. Jalen's got to give him the ball. Oh, now Jalen's got it. I'm out of here. Moving on to Dallas Goedert.
You don't get to do
please.
Dallas Goedert.
We do
Let me
it.
show one
Please
Dallas
don't
Goedert.
do
Hey,
Dallas
let me show
Goedert.
you one Dallas Goedert.
Jesus.
Dustin, can we show the first Dallas Goedert stat?
No.
Hey, people, yeah. I
There's
want to
a
do LeBron. I want to do
filibuster.
LeBron
Next
step.
to Kelsey?
and KD.
Is that where he should be?
No, that's not the one I wanted. You got a bonus. This is a bonus Dallas Goedert one.
Okay, that's
Wow.
That's
Okay.
two career again.
Wow.
Here it is.
I told you this.
No, you tried to soft
I said
pedal
this
it.
was the
You're
one
like,
thing
oh,
the
you know
Chiefs are
what?
bad at.
You know what? This is a vulnerability. Here's
I
another way
said
to say
it.
it. They're dead last.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a vulnerability. It's different than being dead last.
That's why-
If I ran a marathon and they're like, how'd you do? I said, nah, not great. And then you saw, like, hold on, this guy coming in the cover of darkness. like 8 hours. I'm like, oh, came in dead last. It'd be worth noting. So when Spags has all these exotic blitzes, Jalen, because he's the leader of the team, is going to say, ooh, where's Dallas Goedert? They don't cover Dallas Goedert. crush
You actually tied that all in together.
I don't. Dusty want me to show the. Oh, one more bonus. Dallas Goedert graphic.
But no.
This is a Josh.
You already
Not that one, Dusty.
Dusty
Dusty trying to sell it to me. Gave me the wrong one in the Superdome. Wow. Home away from home.
We have too many Eagles fans on this staff.
That's Josh.
That is a fan of Dallas Goedert.
this is
Cab got
the
you.
pulling.
He got you. That's all.
It's noteworthy if the guy, since last year the field was such a big thing, that gosh darn turf, got 170 yards, holds the record. I'm surprised they don't have a banner up there for him. Dallas Goedert, most yards in the Super.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.